Hello. Oh my gosh, it actually didn't. Normally, whenever I switch from starting soon to my iPad, it like messes up Celeste and she doesn't like but hey, it actually worked this time. Let's go. This is my first multi-stream, so it's probably gonna be very scuffed and weird. I don't know. Here's to hoping I don't have massive technical issues, because I probably will. Oh yeah, the music. Silly me. See if that's too loud. It looks like it's fine so far. I might bring it down a... Oh, I think it's fine. Maybe when I switch from playlist 2 to playlist 1, I'll have to bring it down a bit. Yeah, this is... I recently started a new campaign, and it's part of my modern day thing, except this one takes place in 2015-ish. But in terms of D&D, it's modern day. So I have been going absolutely crazy, drawing them a whole lot. I forgot 2 bits on one of the characters' clothes, so we're gonna be drawing that together. But hello, it is so nice to see you. It's been a very hot minute since I streamed. And actually streamed, not just like doing a test stream that I turned Twitch off for and then it still sends to Twitch anyways. So then I have to be really awkward and be, hi, this is a test, sorry. It's going well. I have been putting off doing this for forever because I want to multi-stream, but also it's very scary that, like, instead of only Twitch people that I'm gonna be embarrassing myself in front of, it's also a lot of other people. Because I don't know, I know my Twitch people, so I don't feel quite as bad about how super awkward I am constantly. Like, I know everybody. I don't know everybody whenever it comes to YouTube because I don't know anybody. But I hope that you are doing well. Maybe I should do it from there. Because the rest of it's probably just found. But I hope that you are doing well. It has been some of me spending absolutely forever since my last stream was because I was like in the process of doing multi-stream, but not enough to where I had everything set up, and I just kept putting off setting up the rest of it. Hopefully come the end of September into after that for like 11 months. I should be pretty good on streaming more regularly. A big reason I don't stream that often is because my partner, my boyfriend, only has so much time where he's at home because he works a full-time job in another city, so he has a lot of transportation time. And also, just, I mean, in general, like, I would like to spend time with him when he's home. So, we, generally spend the time that is, like, best for me in my day to stream. We spend that time together. And I don't like streaming at night. I normally have to stream at night. Just because that is my option for what I have, but I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I prefer being like non-verbal at night. But I mean, I still do it because I do love streaming, so I still kind of put up with an inconvenient time for me. Just because it's something. But he is deploying soon, which is not, he's not going anywhere. That's just kind of the overall army term for whenever you're like being paid by them to do something. So he's starting something soon, which means that he will be on base in another city doing geek stuff, because he's commo. So he'll be, I don't know, playing with radios all day. But because it's in another city, and it's actually quite a far drive each way, he's probably going to be spending every other night there on base and not coming home, which is time that I can stream. So I should be doing it more. That's like... guess they should be there. Bottom probably comes down here. Okay. Ooh, what are you reading, though? I, like, rambled. I probably should read more. Or even just, like, reread books that I already have. And I never do. Like, I don't know. As I've gotten older, my ADHD has gotten worse. So now it's kind of really hard for me to focus that long. Then I'm just like, man, I could be like creating stuff. I could be drawing. Why am I doing this? I need to not do that because I also recognize that my vocabulary is actively getting worse. And I would like to not have that. The Wandering Inn still. I've been slacking a bit and want to finish this volume before November. Oh yeah, I think I remember you telling me about that. I have garbage memory, but I do remember you talking about The Wandering Inn. Yeah, give it more of a chin. Some lines. Goes over here. So in my D&D game, we lost a player due to time constraints. I have to focus real hard to figure out how to spell Deftones backwards. Yeah, I didn't even do it by memory. I just looked at it, actually. But yeah, so we lost a player in our regular campaign due to time constraints. His business is really busy right now, and he can't put the time into having that free time available for himself during D&D. So he had to quit all of his campaigns. Because he was in 3. Then 2 D&D games and a Cyberpunk game. He had to quit all of them because he just can't allocate that time. Oh, there's an eclipse in Europe? Oh yeah, I don't know if it will be visible in the US. I didn't really check. I still remember the last one, so I'm like, alright, I'm fine. I forget what time it is in Europe. Will you be awake or will you be like busy whenever it happens? I forget the time difference like fully. You can say it's any time in a few hours and I'll believe you. Yeah, so because we lost a player, we now only have 3 people, which is not fantastic, especially for how brutal some of the fights get. My DM is not one of those, like, DM against the player type of DMs, but he does try to make us suffer a little bit. Which, I mean, makes sense contextually in that it is a morally very dark, game. Like, the whole theme of the game is summed up as, not what will you do when someone is watching, but what will you do when no one can stop you? Because it's essentially playing into the whole thing of how, after a certain level, like, D&D players are essentially just demigods. And, like, we're only at level 11, I believe. And we've already accidentally destroyed 2 cities. Like... So it's not like a edgy kind of a morally dark. It's more of like, we have to live with the consequences of our actions, morally dark. There is no like, well, you guys are the good guys. It's like, well, should have been better. And now that NPC you love is dead, and I am going to cry myself to sleep for 2 weeks because he was my precious cinnamon roll, and nobody stopped to help him. Only my character. Not that that's, like, personal or anything. It is totally personal. I cried myself to sleep because my baby died. and the one person who had high enough persuasion to stop him from dying due to the situation, he actively said, my character doesn't care about any of these people. They can all die. And thus my baby died. I still hold a little bit of anger out of character. Yes, I do. Absolutely. It's not going to affect our friendship. Still my best friend, but you know. He is also the reason I cried myself to sleep for 2 weeks. Anyways, so actually that person, that's the guy that left. So we're doing what we are calling a mini campaign, which is still set in the same setting, but earlier. Our game started in, I believe it was 2022 is the canon start date, and also the date that we like actually started. But because we used to play on real time, now we played too much and that kind of messed up. But this one takes place in 2015, which is very fun. And then also we realized that the mini campaign takes place in Egypt. We are students, college students that are there because we have been selected for a like special group to watch how like archaeological discoveries are made using new technology made by one of the big factions in the setting, which is very tech focused. So we're doing that. I don't know if you remember Egypt in 2014 to 2016, but like ISIS was kind of a thing, and we kind of got jumped by them, I think. They didn't say who they were, but they were attacking like a white person and a Coptic Christian, so I'm gonna guess. Because we got jumped in a bodega. Nobody died, like NPC wise. I was gonna say human, and then I remembered it's deep. But like, thankfully no one got hurt too bad. That was our first fight. We didn't have armor or weapons. So that was brutal. And then our second fight was at an oasis, which actually, I just did art of this. I posted it on my YouTube and my Blue Sky, but I don't really have a way to like post it for my Twitch people. So I'm just gonna show it to you now. But I did this recently, which is like the most fully rendered piece I've done in a long minute, a hot minute, a long time. So this was a lot of fun to work on. It was a lot in general. So this is Merlin. This is our wizard. I love him so much. He is probably my favorite player character, even above my own. Like, I adore Merlin. He's not quite like a little emo boy, but he is very much like, oh, how can I put it? He's like a non-problematic edgelord. I love him so much. Also, most of his spells are ice related, so I feel like that's very fun out of a red tiefling, because a lot of times the brands of tiefling, what are they called? Like the legacies of the tieflings, at least in old 5e, original 5e, 2014 5e, is red tieflings are more likely going to be fire related because they are not dis. Okay, I'm blanking on who it is. but they're descended from like one really specific devil. This is Hildebrand. He's actually an NPC in our original campaign. He is the most beloved NPC. So much that I think he was supposed to play a smaller part in the story, but we latched onto him so hard that we were like, nope, this is our new buddy. I don't care if you don't like doing DM player characters. He's in our party now. So we basically just took him in. He's wonderful. So this is him before he got his warlock powers, when he was just a person. Just a cute little boy. I mean, he's like 19, but still, cute little boy. This is Nephra. I love him so much. He was in the bodega whenever we got attacked. We, like, above table, all agreed that if we could have a Nephra-centric polycule, if Nephra would allow that, we're all good with it. Because all three of us are just in love with Nephra now. He's, like, so precious, like, bubbly cinnamon roll. He's also our cleric. So we have one NPC in our party that's just a guy. We kind of just have to keep him alive. But I love him. And then we have one NPC in our party that's a cleric. That way we have some form of healing. This is our rogue, Cassiopeia. She is a little bit cringe. She's like super obsessed with what are they called? Like gentleman thieves. So she was, whenever we were in our fight, she kept talking about how like the people who jumped us in the bodega had no honor and like they are not worthy or whatever, because she's like basically a weeb but for like gentleman thieves. She's an elf from the Elder Court, which is basically just they're stuck in like pre-industrial revolution technology because they have magic and they don't need technology. Hence her like whole outfit and everything. This is my character. Her name is Sabrina. She is a 6'2" bodybuilder / weightlifter, I guess is more accurate. I love her. She is, despite being very physically imposing, she is very awkward, and apologizes a lot because she feels like she's taking up too much space because she's, both in terms of like, she is tall, but she is also just so bulky that like she's kind of modeled after like the strongmen. Those like the mountain from Game of Thrones, the weightlifter mountain that they had for a while, because he had like 6 actor changes, but like specifically the one that is a bodybuilder / weightlifter, I don't know the difference. He's like so strong but also has a lot of body fat, because it's not about like tone, it's about just adding raw muscle and usable muscle. And that's kind of how I built her as well, where she has a good bit of like still body fat. A lot of times whenever especially AFAB people or women will start doing weightlifting, they lose a lot of their body fat, they lose their breasts, they lose like, you know, their thighs just get very toned. The whole point of her is that like art design wise, she's just bulked. But also like, so I have a deal with my DM that I get penalized if I don't eat 2 rations for every meal, because she needs her calories to keep working out. So like that's the kind of thing I have going with her, but I love her. She is precious and like almost demure, kind of. Like, she's so, not to bring up the meme word, but she's like so awkward, and really cute. And I have like such a big ship personally, because I know that the person playing Merlin is definitely not watching my stream, even though he's my buddy. I have such a big ship of Sabrina and Merlin already. Like, I really want them to get together. I really hope that works, because that would be so cute. Especially with how tieflings are treated in that setting, and the fact that she's my first human character. So like a human and a tiefling would be kind of surprising. I'm gonna take a drink of water. So park. Okay, let's keep going. So I have my regular line art. I don't like filling in colors whenever there's a ton of lines or really intricate designs, so I tend to do them on a different layer. That way I can just fill— no, not emojis. That way I can just fill the backgrounds. Like, I can just fill this thing. The cuff. There we go. I can just fill the cuff and not have any of these lines stopping it. That's kind of what I'm doing. Is just going back, and since I already made a layer for it, just going back and I'm gonna now. Yeah, so I have what is called— what my medical staff has referred to— not medical staff makes it sound like there's more than one. I mean, I have one current doctor, it's just I've also had another doctor in the past tell me that I have obsessive compulsive tendencies that don't go very well with my existing anxiety, because I have generalized anxiety. So that basically just turns into I can't make my brain shut up. The biggest thing I've found that helps me is having like something to just think about that is like generally a positive feeling for me, which has turned into this D&D setting. So I just think about it a lot, which means that I also have been just drawing all of these characters a lot, because I have a million things that I want to draw of these characters. Yeah, I'm gonna leave his tattoo until I'm doing the skin rendering. So I'm not lining that yet. I just forgot that I didn't have it on there. So I sketched it, but I am not going to line his tattoo. I want to do it on a multi-layer instead. That way it's a little bit transparent. I realized recently that I put entirely way too much detail on shoes. But at the same time, I also refuse to not do that because I love shoes. They're one of those things that, like, they can just fully make an outfit whenever you're drawing. It's funny, because I don't really care about shoes in person that much. Although I will never give up my insistence that— I forget the brand name. It's like Osiris or Oasis, something like that. Those like super chunky skater shoes are like the best shoes. Like, just— I don't remember comfort-wise if they're good. Those are my favorite sneakers in the world. And nobody can convince me that they're cringy. and incredibly dated. Have to be careful about how much information about Hildebrand I give out. This tiefling, the awkward one, because since he's in the main campaign, illustrating and making a comic of the main campaign is it's essentially going to be my magnum opus. I don't think I can do anything better than illustrating that campaign because the story is so good and like I don't know, I love it. I'm so obsessed with it. It is like my full-on special of just my D. It's my own little personal fandom. On the other hand, part of that is that I genuinely don't think that I am a good enough artist right now to illustrate that campaign the way that I see it in my head. I don't think that I'm like that. I'm not proficient enough yet. So I'm waiting on it, which means I have to be careful to not say anything that will absolutely spoil stuff if someone who is watching also happens to read that comic in and it's the internet, so anything can be like clipped or saved. Someone can just keep my VOD somewhere for forever. So if I say like something offhandedly about future Hildebrand, that might just be like ruined for people later. So I'm being very careful, but it's also really hard. So I want to talk about everything. Nephra in his beat up, legally distinct Adidas. So I have several stream playlists, all of which are the same like production company because I love that label. Just like already from before I started streaming, I just listened to them normally. Anyways, just because it's good background music. I mean, it's good music in general, but like it's nice to have on. But I was very much feeling the Silksong music. My best friend also streamed, and recently, I say recently, as of like the last year, I guess just whenever, I forget when Silksong came out, but since Silksong came out, he's been slowly streaming through the entire game. And he's in final act now. But it's so hard, so, and he's just really busy, and so he hasn't been in a while, and I miss hence Silksong music now. finally get to work Hildebrand in this one. My sweet boy. I love him. As you can tell from his outfit, because he's dressed like the most Mormon boy in the world. He is a precious little Mormon boy. It's funny because so yesterday, while my partner was at work, my boyfriend was at work, I was drawing him. I was drawing Hildebrand, and listening to The Killers, which, if you do not know, is I don't know if everybody. Oh, how much of the campaign did you say you went through again? So the main campaign we have been playing for, I think, 4 years. We do not level up often. Because it's not XP, it's milestones, so it's like when we do big enough things that we get experience. This party, though, we've only had one session. I've already drawn a lot because I'm just enamored with it. And I love Merlin. But yeah, so we've only done one session of this. We got jumped in a bodega and then went to an oasis. Different days, but still. Oh, and then we got attacked by mummies at the oasis. And, because she was in a bikini, my fighter was not wearing armor against a bunch of mummies and gray thirsters. That's what they're called. We call them gay thirsters in my party. I, for a second, genuinely forgot what the actual name of that monster is. Gray thirster. They're like an undead thing. Yeah, mummies are rough when you have 11 AC. And you also have to be melee, because your only ranged option, I'm pretty sure, are javelins. I don't think I have, like, a crossbow or anything, so... Hildebrand has white irises. Well, I guess light gray irises. And slightly darker gray pupils. It's essentially described in campaign as he almost looks... if you've seen some, it's not quite as blue as when someone has, like, gone blind. I guess it's like a cataract, maybe? Where it covers their eye and they have, like, the light blue eyes. And you can't really, like, see a pupil anymore. It's like that, but less blue. It more just kind of blends in with the sclera, the white part of the eye. So it kind of just looks like he has no irises at all. That's, if I am remembering correctly, because it did happen in, like, 2022, I'm pretty sure that's how Hildebrand was described. It kind of looks like he's blind, and it kind of looks like he has no irises. I wonder how mummies tasted, considering they were eaten enough that they're kind of rare. Oh yeah, the Victorian thing. Probably pork jerky, if I'm guessing. Because I know that I've seen several times that people who have tried long pork, i.e. people, just say that it tastes like we taste like pork. I haven't had pork long enough for me to remember what that would taste like, but I imagine mummies probably just taste like really, probably very gross, very tough pork jerky. But yeah, I agree. I think from what I remember, it was a Victorian thing of like they thought it would like make you live longer, or it was like good luck or something like that. Victorian's kind of crazy. We're kind of still cleaning up a lot of myths and misconceptions that the Victorians brought about. They did good stuff, but you know, most of their impact, at least like historically, is kind of negative. Like, on, I don't know, altogether, Victorians kind of sucked. They left behind fantastic fashion, and they did a lot of good for like building and paleontology and all of that, but they also messed a lot of stuff up culture. And like, especially misconception wise, and they're kind of the ones that started the whole science versus religion thing, even though you can be religious and still believe in science, because most religious texts aren't to be taken literally. That's literally how history was through metaphor. But Victorians started this whole like edgelord, where like anti-theist thing. I'm not even religious. Oh, as an aphrodisiac, that also makes sense. Yeah. People use weird stuff as aphrodisiacs, and it's like, man, let that art keep. Man. As if anybody is important enough to do something like that. Just so that they can get. Oh, that's fair. I was thinking more of the cultural like pushback of science, because a lot of that started in the Victorian era. But yeah, the religious push definitely started early. It became more of a cultural rather than a like legal thing, where people were proudly being like, "Yeah, I don't believe in God." That started to become more accepted and acknowledged. But yeah, you are absolutely right. Yeah, a lot of, I don't know. Yeah, Galileo was imprisoned for life because he believed the Earth revolved around the sun instead of the Earth being the center of the, which is crazy because that's kind of like that's close enough to, I don't know, a big issue with, it's mostly a Western religious thing because a lot of like Eastern stuff knows how history used, and they kind of started being a little bit more literal in their history a lot earlier, so it's not as much of an issue. but a lot of Western history is specifically told metaphor and things like that, where you're not documenting what literally happened most of the time. You are documenting a situation with something that you can learn from what has happened to the metaphor. And that's very common for just all history in terms of Western stuff. For until you get to a certain age, it's very common for that to just be how history is told. Like the whole Atlantis thing is not a literal place. He is not saying that Atlantis is a literal place. That's kind of the whole point, is that Atlantis shunned the gods and was punished, and thus it is important to not shun the gods. Like that is the whole learning situation, but at no point does he actually expect the reader to think that Atlantis is real. And they did believe that there was another continent back then, just because that would have brought balance to the layout of continents that they were aware of. They were accidentally right. But at the time, obviously, they didn't know. At least, like, you know, Greek and Roman philosophers didn't know. So, the whole point being, even outside of religious stuff, history is still told for a long period of time. But whenever it comes to religion, a lot of people that's how it's done and will take it literally, like the whole thing about the Earth being the center of the universe, or, you know, Earth being 6,000 years old, and it's like, no, that is not a literal amount of time. I'm not even religious. It's just like my partner is, and is also like not terrible to non-religious. He's not one of those people that takes history at that time and can recognize what it was intended for. And it's also crazy because going out of like Celeste mode, because I haven't been in character for a minute, going into just Celeste mode, like I grew up in a conservative small town in the South, and 100% of the people that ends up being like, well, Earth is 6,000 years old, so science is wrong and lying, were also the people that never actually read any of our religious texts and didn't pay attention in some. Like 100% of the time. It was this. And that never made sense. How are you going to use texts that you have not read? Meanwhile, like, my family didn't take me to church, but my friends did, because I would stay over at friends' places on Saturday night. So I would go to church with them on. And, like, we read that whole thing. We did whole, like, learning modules and things like that. And I've always been, like, the teacher pet types. Even though they did not like the time I became a teenager. It was requested that I not, or they, like, offered me something, like, polite like that. It's funny, but, not because I was being a dick or, like, just because that specific teacher, like, and the fact that I was asking a lot of questions, it was one of those, like, that might have been one. I don't know. I was, like, 13. I don't really. I am back to being a snail. Nail shall hydrate. Because my tongue is dry and it makes it sound weird when I talk. Man, we've made a lot of progress. I like fully zone out when I Should I? Probably not. But I don't know, even whenever I don't stream, I already don't listen to myself talk, because I talk. I'm the kind of person that will not talk at all if I don't know you, and then talk much if I know you. And no in between where I talk a normal person amount. There is a reason I tag myself. Especially with the way that I talk, because I often forget stuff that I'm talking about. Or go back to a topic that's like 20 minutes old, because I made a connection in my brain that makes sense to exactly only. I try to tone a lot of this down during stream so that I'm less like, I don't know, frantic or interact with you. That way you're not like, oh god, overload. Yeah, I don't know. Stream is a weird, like, combination for me, where it's kind of both a form of meditation because I am just talking most of the time. 90% of the time I'm drawing because I've only done, like, stuff and, like, maybe 3 sessions of... So, I mean, most of the time it's drawing. So I'm drawing and kind of just chatting for, like, long periods of time about anything that comes to the scary silence. And I don't know, it's somewhere in between, like, interacting with people, but also meditation. And then because I have, like, a background in sales, it feels a little bit like... Which, I mean, I guess I am, like, selling my trying to be in the community. Hanging. So I guess it is, like, a little... So I have been recording myself on days that I don't feel like a lot of days. Ever so full of energy. Very tired. So on those days, I've been just recording my stuff, and I need to go through and actually edit everything. I have a lot of stuff to edit, but the downside is I actually have to start editing things. And unfortunately for me, I didn't really record anything from the Oasis picture, even though that's the first thing I've... Maybe 1 month, but still. I don't really finish things that often. I get too inspired by something. Drop stuff. And then I'm like, yeah, I'll come back to it. And then I never... To get better about that. I have one commission that I've been super hard avoiding for a minute. I mean, at first it was just I forgot about it fully. And then it just became like I had such a bad time working on it because stuff was just not coming out. And I've talked about this commission before because, yeah, it's that same one. I still haven't finished it. Where it just, like, I've spent hours trying to, like, make a cohesive design, and it's just not working. with like the parameters I was given. And I'm just like not able to be happy with it, and it's really frustrating. Now I just like don't want to finish it on it because I haven't had a good time with it. Getting like a billion. Yeah. So I don't know. I need to finish it. She already paid me. I asked her not to. She already paid. So I have to finish it. Like, that's not doing it is not man. It not enjoyable to work on, and I might just have to put out like a half-assed thing just to get it done. And then I don't know, best that she not put a watermark or like anything. I might have to do that because I'm just not happy with it, and I kind of want it to. It's like that weird mixture of boring and difficult at the same time. Which is really hard to accomplish, but that's what that piece has. Is that it's like both really hard to work on and come up with something that looks good, but also it's like not fun. It's not like the fun type of difficult where you're like, oh yeah, I'm solving this. It sucks. I need to do it. Ugh, I need to do it. Putting my phone further away. I love my grandmother. Bless her. But she texts like it's an instant. And will send me a lot. I mean, she's being precious. She's being wonderful. I will never say anything. But oh my god. I have to put my phone farther away so I can respond. You like. And she's being very sweet. Wishing me luck. I have an interview tomorrow. I really hope I get it. They didn't list pay. So I'm also hoping that it's not ass. But I have high hopes because if Indeed can be at all trusted. Thank you! If Indeed can be at all trusted, a very similar position to the one I'm applying for has an average of $25 an hour, which would be crazy. I would be happy with 16. Like, my last... It's not an in-person job, but my last in-person job was just about $15.50. And I just want to feel like I'm moving up financially. Which, I mean, I'm moving up from 2 contract positions to part-time contract positions, which neither of which pay well or consistently. So, anything, like, it's still gonna be better, but I want to feel like in the grand scheme of things, I'm getting more. I'm not going backwards again. Because I've talked about my last job before when I still worked there. I did get a job doing admin for a mental health place. That sucked. Mental health doesn't have money. So they paid me $11. Which was not great, on top of the fact that it was incredibly inconsistent. So some weeks would be like 3 hours a week. The whole week. finally got enough to. So yeah, this new place is at a call center, but not doing like typical call center stuff because it's kind of an admin position, which I have a lot of experience with. I also have a lot of experience with sales because that's my like background is electronic sales. So even though it's not an electronics company, I hope that like there's still sales aspects to it where you get warm leads. I made sure at least everything in the listing does not specify cold calling because I hate so much. I am not good at it. It makes me super anxious. I have panic attacks. Like it's the worst. So I don't cold call. And nothing in the listing made it sound like that was even something that would ever be done. Like there's no reason. So with that brand. So that is a positive that I'm really hoping for. And I'm gonna double check with them, make sure that they're not going to expect me to call, because I can't. I just can't. I had to cold call a lot for that mental health place, even though it wasn't part of my job description at all. I had to cold call doc, and that was the worst. Especially because I had to do it from like my personal phone. I didn't have like a virtual phone to work off of. I was just doing it from my own phone number, and I pissed off a doctor once because he was like talking about how I was wasting his time. So that's just so he was talking about how I was wasting his time by trying to like get his information for the practice, so like partner that company with his practice. But yeah, he just screamed at me for like 3 full minutes about how I was wasting his time and how he has better things. And then whenever I found the time to be like, okay, thank you, you've answered all of my questions, bye, have a great day, he called me back after I hung up with that. He called back my personal phone number to like continue yelling at me. And I was like, yeah, I'm never cold calling again. Like, that's part of why I quit that job, was because despite like everything with how inconsistent it was, I was still looking for another job, and I liked having something while looking for a job because the job market is awful and most job fake. So I was gonna keep that job until I got a new one. But yeah, she kept asking me to cold call places, and I was like, I can't. And I quit. But yeah, the job that I'm applying for tomorrow, which I will keep everybody updated and do like a Twitch story and like a YouTube post if I get it. That way everyone knows that I actually got a job after trying to find one. That's not literally just a job that pays minimum. But I'm disabled, so I have to do remote. Also because the disability-friendly jobs in my city are not available. You have to have like 2 years experience for an entry. Like, okay, cool, that's awesome. Be a like dental receptionist, you already need like 4 years dental receptionist. Okay. I love trying to get into an industry and not being able to only accept people who are already in. Even though I have several years of both being an admin and working front face. Anyways, now I'm just like doomed. job market. I don't want to do that. It sucks enough without being reminded. I just like talking about my day. And that's a lot of my day is looking for jobs. But yeah, I hope it would be awesome. I have so many things around the house I want to help out with because I haven't been able to pay rent for it. Go away. Goodbye, bot. Hate that I switched how my chat works. Can I clear? Oh, maybe if I... Yeah, there we go. There we go. Yeah, whenever the last program that I used for chat, whenever I banned someone, it would remove their message on my little chat box on screen. But this one doesn't. You have to do it manually. My first time learning because I've never streamed with this program before. Yeah, I have like a whole background that I modeled out in the Clip Studio because I, once again, remind everybody I use 3D models, yada yada yada. Okay, so I've worked with a lot of primitives and I do 3D model itself. Oh, weird. You've not been able to see the stream for a bit because there's some sort of glitch going on with mobile Twitch where it pauses when... I don't know that mode, but yes. Damn. Yeah, on my side, everything is actually going well. Like, internet-wise. So, huh. Yeah, the Twitch app does kind of suck. I have... Because my version of Roku does not, work with Twitch. They removed it for my version of Roku. So when I watch, it has to be on my phone. I can't watch it on my TV anymore. And I don't have my PS4 set up anymore. It's in my closet, so... I can't even do it through my PS4. But yeah, so I have to watch it through mobile, and I have a lot of issues. Especially since I am a mod for my friend. And sometimes mod mode in, like, mod view in mobile just doesn't work. You have to close the app and reopen it and hope that it gives you mod view. Like, the ability to open that. Because sometimes it just doesn't. Which is very frustrating whenever my friend is playing a game and doesn't have, like, the free time to go in and but it's taking me forever to the point where I can do it. Very inconvenient. Yeah, mobile Twitch does seem to be an afterthought for Twitch. Which is funny because I feel like, I don't know, it never occurred to me. Maybe it's because I don't work in tech where I'm like, I'm not in a job where I need background noise for my work at my PC. So maybe it's that. Maybe if I get a job that works with more of that position, I might watch desktop Twitch more often. I've never watched Twitch on a desktop before. Literally ever. And I've looked at my stats, at my analytics, and a lot of people do. But it's kind of wild because it just never occurred to me to do that. Mostly because I have a TV in my room, so I kind of just watch stuff on the TV. I used to watch Twitch way more often whenever I had my PS4 set up, because I would watch it through that. But that's definitely lessened by a lot now that I have to just put my phone up and can't do anything. Because Twitch hates whenever you switch apps. It, like, messes up a lot of stuff. Your connection to this, at least for me, which is weird because I have really good connection, like internet-wise. It does go out a lot, but overall, pretty solid for being like a not main brand of internet provider. Yeah, you watch it on both. That makes sense. And that lines up with my analytics for how people watch my stream. Yeah, I would say it's not, maybe not a full 50-50, but it's very close. At least from memory. It's been a second since I streamed. Because you get, like, the reports afterward of where people are from, like what countries they're from, and then where they watch you and all of that. That way you can, you know, if you have like a mostly mobile audience, you can do or about this. Oh, it's cheaper to buy bits on desktop? I never really... I should, now that I do stream, I should probably learn more about what they are. Especially if I'm going to be streaming more often, I need to start actually working on getting emotes done. That might be my next project after this, is finally making myself emote. I have a lot of ideas. Yeah, you learn something new every day. Yeah, I didn't know that either. But yeah, I still need to... I know the thing that whenever you're on mobile, you can, like, tap and, like, every 50 minutes or so you get stuff. I don't know what those are called. You get, like, the points for redeem. I just know my buddy used to stream with a face cam, and one of his redeem is like really expensive, but it makes him do squats on stream, and he has to do like a full set of, I assume, weighted squats because he's a bodybuilder / weightlifter. I should probably know the I don't. Android and iOS devices take a cut of the money. They both raise the price on mobile for bits and subs. Huh. Oh, channel points. That's what they're called. Thank you. Huh. Yeah, I didn't know that. I need to get back into Twitch now that I actually... I know I haven't streamed for a month, but this is still more often than sometimes. I don't know. I know I've gone like 3 months without stream. I just get into my head and I'm like, oh no, what if I embarrass myself? Like, yeah, I'm going to. Like, that's just it. I'm going to. Nothing to worry about there. It's gonna happen. They cost most on iPhone. Yeah. Warning to... I'll have to remember that. That way if I ever start actually doing stuff that is bit related, I can let people know. I referenced my own bony ass elbow for this angle, but it still looks wrong. I don't know. If I finish lining, we might take like a 2-minute break so I can go refill my water. Whenever I talk a lot, I don't talk a lot during the day. So when I do stream, my lips get like really dry and my tongue gets really dry because it's not used to talking. Ooh, that's actually... Wow, that's it. That went fast. What are the classes and races for the D&D party picture? So this is Merlin. He is our... I phrased it really well earlier. He is our non-problematic edgelord. He is also our wizard. He really likes casting spells, and he will ask every single person that we interact with if they like casting spells. It's really cute. He found out we met a magical cat at the Oasis that I did the picture for. So we met a magic cat, and it casted a spell during our battle, and he turned to the cat, which he otherwise did not like, and went, "Oh my god, he likes casting spells too." It was really cute. So yeah, this was that Oasis picture again. Because I don't really have a good way to post that on Twitch. Like, there's the Twitch stories, but it's so awkward, and I don't know, I've never actually seen where they show up. I've just posted like a couple for my in-between stuff, but yeah, this was that picture. I did not record or stream any of it because I was just kind of in the zone. So yeah, this is Merlin. This is our rogue. She's hiding her face because this is an actual picture that my character took, like in my picture lore. And she's an elf who is terrified of the internet because she sees it as another plane of existence. So she's covering her face because she does not want to be. She's our rogue. She's a thief. I forget what subclass Merlin is. He might be evocation. But yeah, our rogue is a thief. She's essentially a weeb, but for gentlemen thieves, for that whole, like, classification of literature he's very obsessed with. Also very obsessed with the concept of, like, honor and worth, because she is a little bit very cringe in the way that she acts. I love her, but also she's an extreme character in the way that she is, like, waving her rapier around and being like, "You, sir, have no honor." So yeah, she's a little bit cringe. I love her. Sounds like she'd read Lies of Locke Lamora. I will ask the player who does that character if she has heard of that, because probably she has. The strong woman here holding them up is my character, Sabrina. She is very tall and a fighter. She is a champion fighter. She is, in lore, a gymfluencer who wields a massive sword, like kind of the love child between I forget Cloud's sword name. Buster sword? Yeah, that's what it's called. And then the Dragon Slayer from Berserk. More Berserk, kind of the shape of the Buster sword. I.e., it's just a huge impractical sword. And like it's even impractical in lore, where like the whole point is she bought it and it's a bastard sword, which means you can use it with 2 or 1 hand. And she, like, it was on sale because that is not a reasonable grip for a sword that size, and she bought it and spent several years training herself to use that sword. I love her. But yeah, she's a dueling fighting style champion fighter. Over here are our NPCs, which I really hope will be with us for the entire mini campaign. Right here is Nephra. I love this twink so much. He is wonderful. He's a cute, bubbly little cinnamon roll. I really hope he doesn't die, because I kind of feel like he's gonna die. My DM knows that if he just puts cute twinks in our games, and then puts them in danger, we will immediately care. So he does that a lot. But so this is Nephra. He's our cleric. He is a light domain, I think. From what spells he casted, I think he's a light domain. He's wonderful. The campaign is set as we are students visiting Egypt for a summer like project. And he's from Egypt. He lives in Alexandria, which is where goes to the University of Alexandria, which is where the campaign is set. We're visiting that college, that university. And he is a Coptic Christian, which I do have his tattoo, but it's, yeah, right there. And then he also has the Coptic Christian crosses on his wrists, and then he also has a back tattoo, which we have not figured out what it means, because we do not know him that well quite yet. And then this is Hildebrand. I love Hildebrand. He is so this is a mini campaign because our main campaign, we lost a player due to time constraints. So that's on hiatus right now. We've been playing that campaign for 4 years. This is an NPC from that campaign, but this takes place before we met him. So this is 7 years before we meet him in the main campaign, because he's like 19. So Precious, he becomes a warlock. He is not yet a warlock. He's just a dude. So we kind of just have to keep both of our boys alive. But he's just a precious little Mormon kid. I love him. He's so sweet. And he's like he's kind of Debbie Downer, because he's like he's not edgy, but he's like dark and moody, so he'll like not purposely cut down when you're like excited about something, but he'll just bring you back into like reality of the situation, the full situation. So he's a lot of fun to like talk to. Like, he's a very fun character to roleplay against, which is, yeah, maybe the plot armor will keep Hildebrand alive. I hope so. I really hope so. Because if not, then maybe his patron brings him back later on, and that's how they meet. Because he hasn't met his patron yet. I think that the campaign is about him meeting his patron. That's kind of what I've put together. So I hope we get to see him whenever he's like a cute little level 3 warlock. Because we meet him later on, and he's way more powerful than we are at the point that we meet him. Because he's already like 5 levels above us. Yeah, it's such a fun campaign and a fun cast of characters. This mini campaign starts in about 2015. The main campaign starts in 2022. But yeah, he'll get nerfed for this because this takes place like 7 years before. So he'll have to be a tiny little baby again. Because whenever we meet him, he's like, we met him at, I think, level 5. And he was like level 10. Hello! Oh, thank you. Oh yeah, I just saw that. Thank you. That is loud. I just set that up last night. And I have not tested it in an actual stream yet, so I might have to quiet that down. That bird was really loud. Yeah, I'm gonna go get water. I recommend that everybody... Oh, thank you. I recommend that everybody stand up and stretch, because that is very important. Get your blood flowing. You should do it every hour or so. And maybe go refill your water bottle too. I'm very thirsty. So yeah, we will be back in like a minute and a half. And I will see you then. So we can start filling these guys. I also have a background that, yeah, so I modeled this background out. Because the idea is that it's taking place on campus at the University of Alexandria, and they're just in between classes. Because we did have classes in session. We skipped past them, but we were like, okay, day 2 is you're in class all day. Long rest. You're like, okay, cool. So the idea is that in between our class sessions, we took a selfie for Sabrina's Instagram, and this is it. And everybody but Nephra is really awkward in it that isn't Sabrina. She's spent the last however many years, probably, I think it's 8 by my background, by my backstory. She's been online in some format as not quite an influencer, but she started using the internet and social media heavily at 11. She's 19. She's a 19-year-old gym fluent. So she's been at it. She blew up at 16 online. And has been kind of riding that big-ass wave since then. But yeah, anyways. It's a picture for her. I might change the aspect ratio. I don't know what 2015 I'm allowed. I think they might have still been in squares. I'm not sure. I'll have to Google it. But yeah, this is the background. I'm not gonna worry about doing that yet, because that's gonna take forever. And I really feel like filling and coloring them. But yeah, we're not gonna do that here. I'm gonna do that later whenever I get bored and feel like drawing windows for 3 hours. Right now, we're gonna go get a drink, because, oh my gosh, I'm parched. We'll be back in like a minute and a half, and thank you so much for being here. We are back. Yay, she still works. Cool. Oh, that's in the song. I have like brain rot because my follow thing is a bunch of birds chirping, so now whenever I hear bird, it's a follow. Which is maybe not the best thing to have like brain rot for, but hey. So yeah, that's in the song. I probably have another like 45 minutes and then I need to vacuum and maybe do dishes and take a shower before my boy. Because I'm... Also, thank you so much for the bits because that was entirely blocked by my mic stand. Because I have a overhead mic stand. And yeah, that was fully blocked. Thank you so much. In my chat that I'm looking at, it just said the message. It didn't say that you gave me bits, that you cheered bits. That said that in a different window, which I could not see with my mic stand word. So I very much appreciate it, and we will figure out what bits are for at some point. Why are you not working? Be responsive. Oh, did my disconnect? No? There we go. iPad has a really annoying bug. I work on an iPad. There's a really annoying bug that if you are plugged into something, sometimes the screen just stops being responsive for long periods of time. It's very frustrating. And, I hate it. But unfortunately, iPad is the thing that I have, because it was within my price range at the time that I got it. Deleted. I have stuff on you. I have stuff on you. Off and turn. Just those two. So Clip has a thing where you can set a folder or like individual selected layers to be reference layers. That way you can fill stuff and it will... Oh, bits is money? I thought it was like channel points where it's kind of just imaginary things. But wow. Oh my god, thank you. 1 bit is a penny and will be added to your monthly revenue. Same with subs as well. Oh! I also need to make an animation. I have an animation for the follow. I need to make an animation for subs. I kind of have just been putting that off because I don't stream often enough to get subs. But I need to make an animation for that before I get my first one. I'm still not sure what I want. Because my current one is... Here, let me do a fake one through my app. My thing. So you can see the follow one again. So it's this little snail coming out of the shell. Which was... my first animation was doing my starting soon and be right back screen. That took a lot of work. That was a lot of learning. My second one was the snail, which I kind of just ran through pretty quickly because I wanted something for follows. So it's not quite as nice. But I need to do one that's maybe like, I don't know, a snail waving or something. He just grows a little hand and waves. I'm not really sure. Cute though, thank you! I do love my little snail. Like, he comes out and waves or like blows a little kiss. I'm not sure yet. Like the... Yeah! Like the waving snail from Adventure Time. Yeah, I have this fun setup whenever I fill stuff where I can just lasso select like everything very roughly and fill it in, and then what I have is I made a brush. There's a million on the Clip Store, which is the like mostly free marketplace for Clip Studio Paint, what I use. But I made one for myself that works with like my line art. You can just go through erasing it and it'll reference all the lines, and it's so awesome. I came from Procreate, which technically had something like that, but it was awful. It's like bad enough with my line art style and so little personalization to the settings comparatively that I literally never used it and just filled everything by hand. So I went from going from Procreate to this, which I've been on Clip Studio for I think 2.5 years now, I think. But going from Procreate to this was like, okay, cool. I'm no longer spending a full 1.5 filling. I can just do this. And this took a couple of seconds. Need to add that to my Clip Studio. Yeah. I need to republish it because I have like a whole setup that I use with brushes that I made for filling both bases and colors, because I do a base down here and then I clip all of my folders to it so that I have like my character base, and then I go through and fill stuff on base layers in that way I can keep everything organized and kind of like a non-destructive workflow. But the last time that I published it, it got removed because the art that I used for the example, someone thought it was a real character, like a copyrighted character. And I was like, no, it's just for my D&D, but they wouldn't let me keep it. I guess it just looked too... My design was too good. People also get badges for giving bits, same with subs, and the stream customize how it looks. Ooh, so that's another thing I need to work on. Because, yeah, I also need to make badges for whenever I do actually make sub stuff. I need to make badges for that, too. I'm thinking different types of snails. Like, one would be like an aquatic snail, or like maybe a slug. Maybe like a little slug. Name him Jerry. Or Irving. I really like the name Irving. My favorite is Harold. Harold is my favorite name. You can kind of see a theme. But whenever I play Pokemon, my starter is always named Harold. Also, I just instinctively assume that every Pikachu. Because I also name every Pikachu. Even in Pokemon Sleep. I don't know. But yeah, I also need to get started on that, man. I used to have a list of everything to work on, but it's so far down in my Google Docs that I kind of forget. And I don't think I properly named it. I think it's just called, like, Untitled Document. Which is not helpful. Oh yeah, this is an album. I'm gonna bring you down a little bit. With... Yeah, that level was a little bit too loud. And also, it's really loud on my end. I cannot hear myself talk. There we go. Yeah, I'm thinking different types of, maybe a slug, maybe different types of snails for each level. I know that I want repeat subs, like that top level of like the sub badge to be a giant African land. Maybe it's just so big that it cuts off in front. I don't know yet. I love giant African land snails because they are huge and exactly the size that I wish every snail was. Unfortunately, they also carry meningitis really well, so they are legally not and they're really invasive. So they are legally not allowed in the U, which is where my little Fae portal is, because I'm pretending that I'm actually being in. It's so weird. I can stick to character very well for D&D, and it comes to streaming, and I just turn into myself. Oh, so tiers come down to, like, I don't know. I always assumed that sub tiers were like how long you've been subbed. I'm probably wrong, because I only sub to one person, which is just my friend. Because you get that, like, Amazon Prime, the free sub that you have to go through like a bunch of pages to actually redeem. They want to up, but you still get that free every time because you have to do it like every month. Wrong brush. Different sub badges based on how long you're subscribed for, but then the tiered subs that you could have other perks for. Ooh! Sub to some people, but it's mostly just... That's fair. It's kind of expensive. That's also why I've been like, yeah, I can wait a little bit on making sub stuff, because, like, man, it's kind of a lot every... That adds up. I stream, like, once a month, sometimes. I'm trying to do it more often. I was stuck in the middle of starting the multi-stream. Because, yeah, this is my first multi-stream. Although nobody had it at all. If there's anybody on YouTube. I don't watch with view counts visible, because that makes me... I prefer to think that it's just... They're all my buddies. I don't like knowing that there's just, like, random people that are, like, lurking. 15 of you that I don't know about. Because I've had that before. Like, oh my god. It's really pressure. It's a lot of pressure. To know how many people are watching. I like to think it's just, like, 3. Anyways. But yeah, it's definitely adds up if you have a lot of people that you watch. So I've just been like, yeah, nobody will sub to me until I start streaming. So I have that going of assets. I don't have to worry about it quite. Should soon, because I'm going to start streaming a lot more after September. I can actually probably set up a schedule so that I can do... Because that was my original schedule. I wanted to do it twice a week. Oh, that's the YouTube one. Thank you. Yeah, I got a message. And it works. Oh my god. Because, yeah, you can't test YouTube chat unless you have an active stream going. So there was no way for me to, like, make sure that it was working. I had to do a test stream, and then it started a test stream on Twitch, even though I turned Twitch off on my thing. You don't have to do it on YouTube. You can go back to Twitch if you want. That way you have your emotes back. I need to go through my chat and see which emotes you like and then add them to my YouTube ones. You're worth it. Man, I'm also a mod for a Discord for a game store that I frequent. And by a mod, I mean the only mod. I am the person who runs the whole server. And also made the server, and it was my first time making it. Oh, hey, the bases got done. Oh, wait, no, not yet. And I keep trying to remember that I need to start making more, like, emotes for that server. Because we have so many slots. We have a lot of slots. I've made, like, 12. So I need to be working on that, but I always forget. But we have a couple of people in that server that are like also big regulars, or really involved in some of the events. I say are because I used to work. Some of the events that they run. Yay! Now I can go pull all the colors from the Oasis. Because I actually was good and saved everybody's color stuff. Didn't save it as a material. This one. Keyboard. I really hate that if you have I have an external keyboard that I use for all of my brushes that I use a lot. And it's very annoying to use digital keyboard. Have a external, even though it just like the letter P. My shortcuts that I've killed right. Our cat. Definitely. Very big tip that it took me entirely way too long to put together for myself is if something is really small for you to select a big like rectangle, or whenever it's like a really small piece that's part of something, just off to the side lasso like a big circle and then also your little thing. Okay, well I don't have anything on this, but if you do that, then it like figures out the middle and you can just drag this part and it'll drag the tiny piece. That took me so long to figure out. Like, I've never seen a digital artist talk about doing. Yay, we have our colors! Now we can start filling the skin bases. Start with my sweet... Love her. She's a lot of fun to play. She's my first character that's like really Because I normally play muscle twink. I normally play loud muscle twinks. Is technically Norwegian. I don't know, her... I forget how the generations go for immigration, but she's like a few removed. So it's not like she's herself Norwegian, like Norwegian. But she's real. That's why she's really pale and tall. Okay, that's all her skin. That's easy. Go with baby boy Marlin. Need to head out now, but I had fun chatting and watching the art come together. Catch you on the next stream. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. I had a lot of fun. I appreciate everyone helping me learn more about Twitch. It's changed a lot since the time that I used to be like super active watching. Because I was... in ye olden days, things were different. I think bits were still a thing, but they were, like, a lot less common. Because I think no one really knew what they were. At least on the streams that I watched. I never really saw bits come, but I think I remember they were still a thing. Let's say you own a business like a bar or inn or whatnot, and one of your customers is a necromancer. Would you be willing to accept a skeleton servant as payment for, like, a few $100 tab? In this case, the skeleton will regenerate if its bones are broken, and it will listen to all your commands, but it's not the smartest, so you might need to go step by step with some request. Ooh. If I can get the local lawyer in town to verify whether or not said skeleton became a skeleton became like an undead on their request, I would accept it. Like, you know how there is that one guy in Germany, I think it was Germany, where he was just German. Like, I don't know, something close. Anyways, that cannibal guy that found the one person that was like, yeah, please kill and eat me. And he was like, yeah, sure thing. And then it became a whole legal thing of like, is that illegal to do? Which I think they came out to yet. But because that one person was like, yeah, I fully agree to all of this. I wonder if, like, I feel like that's kind of similar. Where it's like, okay, I would accept it if I know that the person is not, like, their soul is not being, you know, tormented in limbo for because they're now undead. It's like, yeah, I want to become a skeleton walker. Then I'd be like, oh, okay, fine. I feel like that's acceptable. Like, if they're like, yeah, I think the undead are really cool, and I want to become one after I die. But they would need to have, like, a... Yeah, I guess it depends on, like, the setting. Because some things are like, well, if your body is alive, then your soul is not in, like, the afterlife. But it really depends on both the setting and, like, if it's a D&D thing, then how the DM... Because I've had a lot of different takes on that. in terms of undead, how that works. But yeah, I think that if they consented to becoming undead, then I would accept an undead, because otherwise it just feels like I'm keeping a person's body as a... Because, like, I know they're not thinking, but it still feels weird. Like, morally. I don't know. Necromancers are really cool, but also you can't think about them too hard, otherwise it starts getting wonky. Oh, pulling this question from the book you're reading. Yeah, I think that would be my answer. I'm curious to hear what yours is. If you're like, yeah, absolutely, it's cool. Or if you thought of something I didn't. Yeah, I don't know. Necromancers are so morally weird. I really like... I guess the closest thing would be an artificer. There's this game that we're playing right now, or recently, called Darkest Dungeon, which I've enjoyed a lot. I think I also heard about it on stream from somebody, but turns out that my boyfriend had already played like parts of it before, so he started it recently, and we've been doing that. And there's a... Hello! Yeah, as long as it wasn't illegally grave robbed, you're good. That's fair. That is fair. Yeah, I think we're kind of both in the same... Like, maybe if they, like, donated it to the necromancer, then it's okay. Because I feel like that's still a form of consent to it, where even if they didn't, like, notarize a thing saying, please turn me into an undead, if they, like, are like, yeah, please donate my body to a necromancer, that's kind of that's a very similar thing. So I agree with you. Oh, but there's this class in Darkest Dungeon called the Occultist, which I guess is kind of like a chemistry artificer. Oh, what is the chemistry artificer actually called? I only looked through it. I, like, glanced through. I've never had one in a... But they're like, is it the alchemist? I think it's the alchemist. Where they just, like, make a bunch of potions. And it's... The one in Darkest Dungeon is definitely based on... Oh, but what's the name of the... It's based on an Arabic story. I forget what it's called. I'm fully blanking. But... Yeah, like, even the guy in Darkest Dungeon, like, is kind of dressed medieval Arab. Oh, more so thinking about the fact you might get in legal trouble for owning it if they stole the body from the grave. Ooh, that's fair. Because, yeah, then you're, like, stuck with the evidence. That's like whenever you buy something that's stolen, and then you still get in trouble because it was a stolen good, even though, like, maybe you didn't fully know if it was stolen. I think those people can still get in trouble if it's, like, obviously, if it's not clean and unsketchy enough, they can still get in trouble for it. It also depends on, like, jurisdiction. A lot of places there. Ooh, getting out of bed. I am finally not drawing in bed for once, because I normally do that entirely way too often. I don't have a chair in my room, and I don't like sitting at my desk for, like, crazy long periods of time. So I kind of just draw in bed all day, which is not the best for my sleep patterns, but I still do it. Yeah, I'm also finally being out of bed. If you have proof of sale, then you won't get in trouble unless it's something obviously stolen, like a famous painting. Oh, okay, okay. I've, like... read Reddit articles in the past, but I've never really looked that close, mostly because I don't buy things online that might be stolen. So it's never been like a, do I need to worry about this thing? I've never had to like check if something's sketchy. Although I guess that will have to soon, because once my boyfriend starts his deployment, he's gonna be getting more money. He wants to buy Hammer figures, but he's checking Facebook Marketplace for like and built sets. Because I don't know how a full, what is it, 2,000 point for the full army? I don't know how big a 2,000 point army is for other factions, but at least for Astra Militarum, for the guard, it's a lot of figures. Because the whole thing of guard is that they kind of just overwhelm with numbers, even though infantry now costs more than, I think it's a sentinel. I forget. I get like Warhammer information dumped. Everything kind of blends together at certain. I do not play Warhammer. I have started putting together a set of Rough Riders, because he had an extra set after he bought a certain combo box, and he didn't want those Rough Riders because he didn't want like that many whatever Rough Riders do. So he just gave them to me because I paint minis. So I'm making them into dog people so that they can be Rough Riders. The main character of the book took the offer and had it as a skeleton barmaid. Ooh! You can put some, like, comical bone titties. Maybe that's, like, desecrating the dead. Never mind. That way they look like the classic barmaid, but that might be just desecrating. I immediately revoke my joke. I have a friend that owns a business, and I think he would absolutely take that offer. Especially because that means that he would be able to call his employees boneheads, and it would mean everybody. Because it's kind of like a joke about how absolutely... I'll be nice, I'll be charitable, and just say silly. Some of the employees are. Good people, just a little bit silly, and need to stop looking at anime girls on... Because then it just messes up their YouTube history. Their recommendeds. Because yes, that is a situation that has happened. Hello! Oh my gosh. It's been so long, I finally get to see everybody again. Or, you know, talk to everybody. It's essentially, I see your names. That counts as seen. But it's so nice. It's been almost a full month since I streamed, which is crazy. Oh yeah, update on the art fight stuff. I didn't do anything. I got here... Yay! Here to stare at a fellow snail bee. So nice to see another... I do have a snail infestation at my house, so I see a lot of them, but I like seeing outside of that house too. Because yeah, as soon as I moved into this place, a snail infestation started, so I think that they heard that I was here and decided to come hang out. Because they are everywhere. we recently landscaped some of the front path area because there's like a little, the walkway up to the front door has a little like landscape thing, but we've just kind of let it go crazy and wild for like 3 years, with only like grooming it to get out of the walkway. So we recently went through all of that so we can start making it if we get money. And yeah, pulled off a lot of plants, and there's just like a wall of snails on the side of the house. Crazy. They look like barnacles on a ship. Too hot and dry in my nails. That is fair. They only really show up on the shaded side of the house. Because to jump into character for once, my Fae portal, because I am a gay person, is in Texas. More humid because we're near water, but still very hot. I forget how hot. Whew. 98 degrees, feels like 106. Which is 37 degrees in Celsius, feels like 41. I love slugs. My 3 mascots are Snelly, Shelly, and Slug. Ah! I love so much. I adore. That also sounds... I know that Shelly is like a common snail name anyways, but if you were on Artfight, I might have booked Shelly. Because I did bookmark a snail named Shelly and then ended up never... I was too focused on my own art. And did not finish literally anything for Artfight. I got close on one of them. I just had the background left. And she's really cute. I just had the background, and I think I needed to finish the hair. Yeah. This was the one art fight that I got pretty close on finishing. Character owned by Round Sovereign. Oh, yeah. Okay, then yeah, it was yours that I bookmarked. I even made little parfaits and a little pup cup with little biscuits. And she has a little dollop of whipped cream on her nose. I put entirely way too much detail into this, and at some point I should finish it and just give it to the artist that I made this for. I just got stuck on rendering this. The sides of this bench were taking forever, and I kind of just stopped working on it. I think that was all of her. The rest is just for my perfect boy Nephra. Did very little art fight this year. July is my birthday month, so I get season much as I did as much as I could. That is very fair. It was my first art fight, so I was like really excited about how much but I ended up not. I also had like a huge, so I fully, like, I had I think a week where I was only actually and I was just like, ugh, I have no energy. I don't want to do it. Ooh. Oh, it was your first art fight too. The Puerto Rican semi-slug and green shell semi-slug are cool looking ones. Hey, we got to the end of the playlist. Oh, this is super loud when it. Have that down there and then adjust it. Oh, you got art. I didn't actually get any attacks. Which is fair because I didn't finish any either. So I wasn't too like bummed about it. I'm mostly happy that the friend that convinced me to do art fight got a bunch of attacks finished, and I was really proud of how much she had gotten done. So it was still fun for me overall. And I did a really awesome profile piece, which I really liked. So overall, art fight was worth it, even if I did nothing. Oh, I'm gonna turn you. No, maybe you're good. Okay, yeah, I think that's good. It's at a fine level. Oh man, I forgot a bunch of stuff on Hildebrand. I was like so excited I was finally filling that I forgot a bunch of space. So precious. Ooh! I wanted to draw you, I just didn't get around to it. That is very fair. You've updated your animal fact list quite a bit since I last streamed. That is like the good part of me not getting around to streaming that often, because it doesn't really work with my schedule, is, hey, at least you get time to update the fact list. Please tell me, please gift me with your facts. I'm excited. Patron of animal facts. Ooh, that is so smart. A snail fact command on your stream, snails and slugs. That is very smart. Especially because I do that kind of just verbally whenever I talk about, especially whenever I go through design details on Snellest. I just give out like a bunch of facts for that. So I'm, with your permission, I may use that once I get around to figuring out how. That is so smart. To be fair, that's about how often I stream sometimes. Sometimes less. Yes, I believe you did give the deer antler fact. Because I remember someone being really surprised about that. I've seen a deer paleontology video about like the history of deer, and I think they mentioned that because that's how a lot of like deer antlers were found, were just because of the shedding stuff. Ooh, oh my gosh. Okay, so we might be the same person. Hopefully you get this job you interviewed for today, so you'll have even less time to Oh, the bone can't... Okay, maybe not. Maybe, you did not give that one yet. But yeah, I have an interview tomorrow. So we might actually be the same person. Just like, you're me, but ahead by one day. You have an interview tomorrow too. It's... Oh my god, it's like the first interview I've gotten in like 4 months. So I'm really excited. I apply for at least one job a day, and it's the first one I've gotten in like... So I'm really excited for it, and I hope that it goes well. Especially because the last job I applied for, they were like, yeah, no matter what, we'll let you know how it goes. That way you're not like left just wondering, and then they promptly ghosted. I didn't have any in like 5 months, and then suddenly I've had 7 in this last week. Oh my god. I mean, that is amazing. Especially if you get multiple, then you can kind of like choose which one you want, and it's not just like, I need a job. You can be like, ooh, this one pays more and has slightly better benefits. I'm gonna actually accept this one. No to the FD. You get to be a little bit choosy. I want the one I interviewed for today. I like the clinic and I like the benefit. Ooh, I really hope that you get that one. I am interviewing to do kind of like a mix between sales and admin for a call center. So basically being like the person that troubleshoots stuff, but also follows back on warm leads, which is basically just like people who have reached out to say that they want information. So it's no cold calling, which is very good. I went on a whole rambling rant earlier about how much I really dislike cold calling. But so it's warm leads only, and it doesn't list pay, which I'm nervous about. But the Indeed page showed a similar job title that had multiple entries for pay, and the average was $25 an hour. So if it's even like 16, I'll be happy. The last call center job I applied for ended up being either $9 or like $10. So 16 I'll be fine with. Anything above that is honestly gravy to me. So very much hope that it's around that. And also that, you know, I get it. I have high hopes because I do have 11 years. So hopefully they don't try to pull the you're too experienced thing on me again, because I hate that. Health insurance stuff. That seems very interesting to work with, because especially since it is kind of like always changing and never gets fully dull, but also you get and like getting access to in terms of like straightening out. Deer antlers are a controlled form of bone cancer. They've evolved a way to make it grow out of their head and be anti-tumorous, so it isn't a disturbing, harmful mess, which, because bone cancer grows much faster than horns, it allows them to shed their antlers every year. That is crazy. That's so interesting. You might have mentioned it offhand and not the full fact before. But the full fact is very off. I went to school for medical billing and coding. I wanted to get into that, but yeah, it is very, very hard to break into with no school experience. So health insurance, baby. Okay. Navigating the terrifying stuff that is all of that. I applaud you. It's scary. Oh, okay. Got your schooling for free because of your dad since retired military. My boyfriend is military and keeps bringing up that, like, I think I would get at least health benefits if we got married because he's military. And he keeps, like, bringing that up like we should just get married for the health benefits. And, like, that would be cool to have insurance for, like, but, I also don't want to just marry him for that seems sketchy. But I always feel unsure whenever I click that I'm not like a military spouse on job applications, because some places will give you preference if you are. But since we're not married, we've just been together for like 3 years. 3 or 4 years. So it's a common law, but it's not like legal marriage. So I'm always unsure what to click. We have been together forever. And it would be cool to get preference in a job that does that. Got long COVID and when you finally stop being sick, you said, why don't you go for something? That's fair. I do have a lot of health problems, both like I have an ongoing thing that my energy levels are very low, but also I love you enough. I don't have insurance to give you, but somebody does love you enough. The first one is the hardest. Yeah, I do have a lot of health problems, and then I'm disabled, so it would be cool to have health insurance, because I can't work in person anymore, because I can only stand up for about 40 minutes at a time, and then after that my back starts having so many spasms that I cannot stand up. Unfortunately, most of my sales experience is in retail, which is all standing. So I'm a little bit borked on that, but it's cool because maybe I will be getting a remote job tomorrow. Remote jobs are really hard to get because you're competing against everybody that at least has a VPN and a mailing address. Energy problems as well as chronic pain and some other things. We are the same person, except you finished school. I did not do that. I got partway through on my degree, and then COVID happened, so I dropped out. Because I was going in before my disability. I was going in to be a chemist, specifically working in labs, not like theoretical chemistry. I wanted to be like maybe like a lab tech or something, not anything too crazy. Like a lab tech pays enough. And there's a lot of horizontal movement that you can do to get into other fields, and also like certifications to increase your pay at like a certain hospital. Because I wanted to work in a hospital. And then COVID happened. You can't really do lab stuff virtually because you're not learning anything about the physical part of it. So I dropped out, and then I was gonna go back to school, and then I became disabled. So now I can't do that. But if I could just get like, now I'm trying to do like something with art. I want to do like a Patreon or something, but the main thing is I want something for like the in-between, because Patreon is not a lifelong option. But yeah, I'm pretty sure we are just the same person. Which is very awesome. That means that you're also the same person as a buddy of mine, because she's also kind of just in the same boat, except she also finished school. I call myself Evil her name. I would say her name, but I also don't want to, like, dox her. Because VODs exist. And I don't know, my VODs tend to get, like, a good amount. Not, like, 100 views, something crazy. But, like, I don't know, in the 20. Like, 20 people that might hear her name, figure out where she's from, and scary. She has kind of unique names. Anyways. I call myself Evil her name, because she's the version of me that... And I... go by, like, 5 different names. That's fair. I have a birth name and a name I actually go by. They are different names. They are very much not the same name. So I very much get you on. Yeah. Fair. The funny thing is I changed my name before I realized I was agender. I just didn't like my birth name. And then by that time, it was like, man, it's already hard enough to get my family to name I've gone by 16. I can't change it again. So I just stick to the last. I love him so much. He's so cute. Merlin is my favorite out of... I put that in the wrong layer. Merlin is my favorite character that I've made in this campaign so far. Chosen legal name, nickname V, mask name Ray, stream name Snell/Snelly, and a name that's too explicit for Twitch but is commonly used to refer to me by. I love that. Need to... Do you stream on this account, or do you have another account that you stream off of? I'm sure I can check my, like, chat information. That way I can... I want to sub to you. That way the twice a month that you do stream, at least, if it's at, like, an time for me, they can at least come say hi. This one? Okay, cool. After stream, I'm gonna... Cassiopeia covering her face because she doesn't trust the internet and thinks it's another plane of existence really makes this easier, because I'm basically only rendering out of 5. Don't follow me though, you'll be disappointed. That's basically I literally called on my... because I'm multi-streaming to YouTube as well. Although my YouTube stats are, like, not good. But I called it, like, the most scuffs first stream or something like that. Because I did one test stream and it was like 3 seconds long. The rest of it works in theory. That's fair. Because especially if you're like me, where you have like just one moment where I need to figure out how this works right now. Like, yeah, you can do it later, but I want to do it right now. Find a good gold. I forget what gold I chose. Maybe it was something like that. I don't have a standardized goal for Cass's accessories yet. No, that's fair. Although, to be fair, in terms of most Scuffed, it took me like 6 streams to figure out why my mic was like glitching a lot. Just turns out I have to turn my microphone settings like really crazy because I have a wide variation. So I just have to basically make it so that you can hear every single sound that I make. Which means I have to like go into another room to burp. Otherwise it gets caught. But somehow it does not hear my very crunchy neck. Because I have the crunchiest neck in the world. Whenever I pop my neck, it's like the crunchiest sound ever. And somehow it does not pick that up. I feel like that's dark enough that that can read as black without being explicitly black, because extremes, for anyone in here that does not are extremes in color, like pure black or pure white, suck for art. They're important as paints because you can mix them, but like in digital art they suck. Oh. 1 second, we will go to BRB because my boyfriend is calling me right now. Be back in a second. Okay, I'm back. He did not know I was on stream. I might have to go anyways because I am 20 minutes past whenever I was going to stop. Just because, I don't know, I missed you guys. But I need to go vacuum. I'm supposed to do that today. That's my thing. Vacuum. We have 3 cats. It has to be vacuumed every other day. Otherwise, their fur gets absolutely everywhere. But please feel free to still talk about Mix It Up. I need to learn that. So I can start doing commands and maybe steal your snail fact ID. That is such a stupid thing to get held. Oh, but yeah. your that sucks came up on my thing as mod alert. That's so silly. But yeah, I stayed late. Um, yeah, I will hopefully start streaming more often because I do like streaming. I just always get scared of how many people are. Ooh, yes, please give me a raid target, because this is my first time not doing it digitally, because yeah, I normally do not starting at noon your streams. But yeah, I need to start doing proper raids now that I'm doing it off of computer and not PC. Yeah, I found out that doing it on mobile is so weird and sketchy, and a lot of times it just does not work. And sometimes it makes you only raid people that you are sub to, which is really annoying. Or if, like, following or something like that. I had that happen once, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna put someone's name in chat. Yeah, I'm gonna start that. They look absolutely wonderful. I love their art. So we'll be doing that, and then hopefully I will be able to stream somewhat soon. I really hope you get that job. I hope I get this job too. Oh, it might be a restriction set up by them. Okay, that makes sense. Because yeah, I only had that happen once, and it was weird. I didn't think about that it might be something that they have set up, so that they don't get, like, graded. That makes sense. Yes, you have a wonderful time. If it is, no matter what time it is there, it is currently 3 p.m. here. Because I'm in a wonky time zone. But I hope that you have a wonderful night or evening. Thank you so much for being here. I very much appreciate it. And I hope that, all goes well. Oh. If the target has follower-only chat, it will pop up because people won't be able to chat. That also makes sense. I was kind of doing it in a rush because I was like, oh no, I need to go right now. So I didn't, like, read through or try to troubleshoot it. Yeah, I hope you guys all have a great time, and thank you so much for being here. Bye!